So I am super frustrated with the fact that I just recorded about 10 minutes of audio and the batteries were dead. When that happens, it totally ruins the whole feeling of, flow, as it were. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what Tad's Prometheus Pandora paradigm is. I have no idea why he thinks this is in any way something that affects his life, my life, anyone's life, or why anyone would care. Here's what I remember off the top of my head from classical studies in school, which I think was 4th period, with Mara Osgood, I think, or someone else, I don't remember who. So, there are 2 Greek titans who sided with the gods, one of which is called forethought, and one is called afterthought. Prometheus and Epa something or other. I don't remember his name. Anyway, through a combination of luck, guile, and being able to see the bloody future, they realized that if they sided with the primordial gods, they would bollocks things up big time. So the world should, in fact, be ruled by the Greek pantheon. So they sided with the gods, and later Zeus rewarded them. They were either collectively assigned or Prometheus was assigned, I don't remember which, to have a hand in making the first man. And so he made him out of dirt and mud and something else, and then they breathed life into him. And in one of those scheming, stupid parts that I actually liked about Greek mythology, I like the fact that everyone in Greek mythology was like borderline retarded, even though they had the ability and power to do all kinds of awesome stuff. So they were deciding which... What? Dicks. Sorry, I was just frustrated there for a second. They always screw you over in the drive-thru. Maybe when you try to eat healthier in the drive-thru. So, in trying to decide which portion of the sacrifice would be given to man and which portion would go to the gods or some crap like that, Prometheus put like the bones and the fat in one sack, and then like the meat and the lungs or something in the other sack, and then let Zeus choose. And Zeus picked the wrong one. He was tricked. He was like, oh, the fat one looks like it's way bigger, whatever. Oh no, the other stuff was hidden under the stomach, which is friggin' gross and disgusting, unless you are Scottish and want to make haggis. Then it's quite handy. So, as punishment for that, Zeus, being kind of a dickhead, was like, you know what? Well, man can eat his food without fire. Let's see how they feel about eating it raw. Prometheus thought this was kind of a bad idea, kind of a bad, deal. So he slipped up to Mount Olympus and stole some fire off Apollo's cigarette lighter or some such lantern, his arrow. I don't remember. It could have been from Zeus's flaming butthole for all I know. But so he brought the fire down and gave it to man, and then Zeus got royally ticked and decided to chain him up to a giant rock and have a big bird come pluck out his liver every day, and then every night it grew back, and every day he did it again, and he never died. So that went on for quite some time, and Zeus decided that to punish the other guy, which I think is kind of a dick move, the other god, he made him the first woman. Called her Pandora, which means all gifts. And because he was a misogynist bastard, as they all were back then, they gave her a bunch of gifts like being pretty and being able to weave stuff and, you know, like being hot and being deceitful and knowing how to lie well. And just a bunch of other crap. Like, what about mathematics or chemistry or, you know, anything useful like that? No. We'll make her pretty and duplicitous. Yeah, I don't see anybody's, like, editorial hand in that one. So then, gave her as the brother, or the wife to the other brother, and also gave her this jar. They always called it a box, but it was actually a jar. It was kind of a big jar, and it was, these same jars were used for either seasonings or like burial ashes. So it was always kind of like, you know, the people back then knew what they were talking about. Pandora's box wasn't a box. It was a thing that either carried, you know, valuable spices